All right, let's dive in. Today we're gonna be checking out the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Ritz-Carlton, the hotel people, they have yachts now.
Huh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're like all about redefining luxury cruising. They've got articles and website stuff and
Right, yeah.
even a YouTube review, someone who actually went on one.
Really? That's cool. We should definitely check that out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, before we get ahead of ourselves, what actually is the Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection?
Well, I think it's kind of like, they're taking that Ritz-Carlton luxury and mixing it with like a relaxed yachting experience, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I get that.
They've got their first yacht, Evrima. It launched back in 2021.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's pretty small. It only has space for under 300 guests.
It's pretty intimate.
Yeah, and they're going to be launching two more yachts, Ilma in July 2024,
Oh, wow.
and then Luminara in the fall of 2025, and those can hold up to 452 guests each.
So they're getting bigger. I read somewhere they were thinking about expanding the fleet to like 8 to 10 yachts
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even going public in the next few years.
Oh, really? Yeah, that IPO thing is interesting. It kind of shows that travelers, especially those who can spend a bit more, they're really looking for these like really special curated experiences.
Yeah, yeah.
And with these smaller yachts, they can go to places that those big cruise ships just can't get to,
Yeah, yeah.
like little harbors and stuff.
Okay, so destinations, where do they go?
Oh, they've got a ton of different places. We're talking Asia, the Caribbean, the Mediterranean, Northern Europe, the Baltic. They even do transatlantic crossings.
Wow, okay, that's a lot. Do you think maybe they're trying to appeal to too many different types of people? Does that like dilute the experience?
That's a good question. But when you really look at these places, they all sort of have this appeal to the luxury traveler. Like take the Caribbean, for
Sure.
example. It's not just about the beaches, right? It's about like escaping,
Yeah.
disconnecting from everything, maybe reconnecting with, yourself,
Yeah, yeah.
nature, that kind of thing.
So it's like it's not the place itself, it's more about the feeling.
Exactly. Now, what about the Mediterranean?
Okay, yeah, the Mediterranean.
So much history there, art, culture, and the people who go there, they want to learn things. They want to understand the world, the past.
And what about those transatlantic crossings? Like, who does that?
Say someone who really loves like that classic adventure,
Yeah.
disconnect completely, just enjoy the journey. It's
Yeah.
kind of like a throwback to like a more elegant time of travel.
That's cool. I like that. So it seems like no matter where they go, it's about creating a certain vibe.
Exactly.
But okay, what about the experience on the ship? Like, what makes it, Ritz-Carlton?
Well, they really go all in on the all-inclusive thing, but like a super fancy version. You get unlimited dining in your suite, and they've got a fully stocked mini bar with like the good stuff,
All right, yeah.
top shelf alcohol and all that. And the suites are huge. Each one has its own private terrace.
That sounds amazing.
Okay.
But do you think it's ever like too much? Like, they have that high staff to guest ratio. Does that ever feel like you're being watched?
Oh, that's an interesting thought. I guess it depends on the person, right? Some people might love that, and others might feel kind of, I don't know, suffocated.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
true. What about the food? I'm curious about that.
Oh, they've got some really cool stuff. They actually partnered with this Michelin-starred chef, Sven Elberfeld. He's from Aqua, this restaurant in Germany. 3 Michelin stars.
Wow.
And they have this exclusive restaurant on board called SEA.
So it's not just buffet food then?
No, definitely not. They have other places too, like Talat Nam, it's Asian fusion.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're really on top of all the latest culinary trends.
Yeah, definitely. So it's more of a sophisticated dining experience.
Yeah.
But what about things to do on board? Is it all just fancy dinners and lounging around, or are there like more active things to do?
They do have some stuff, yeah. Like a spa with, treatments inspired by the places they go, and open air spaces where you can just chill out. Oh, and they have this marina platform thing. It extends right off the side of the yacht.
Yuck.
Yeah, and it lowers down. So if the weather's good, you can do water sports right there.
No way. That's so cool.
Yeah, like kayaks and paddle boards, maybe even some snorkeling gear.
Wow. The YouTube reviewer, the one we mentioned, they said the activities on board were kind of limited,
Yeah.
besides the eating and relaxing.
Right.
They were kind of hoping for more of a pool scene.
Yeah, I get
Right.
that. It's funny. I keep thinking about that lifeboat comparison the reviewer made.
Yeah.
They were docked next to this massive cruise ship, and the yacht looked so tiny.
It really shows the difference in experience. Like it's like choosing a boutique hotel over a huge resort. But speaking of the review, what did they think overall? Were they happy on their luxurious lifeboat?
Well, it's actually kind of funny. They said they're not really a boat person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That makes their opinion even more interesting then.
Yeah, totally. But they said they were really impressed with the luxury, the service, and the food.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Did they have any favorite destinations?
They loved St. Bart's and St. John. They're both really upscale and beautiful.
Yeah, I could see that.
And they said that those are ports that the big ships can't get to.
Oh, right. That adds to the exclusivity.
Exactly.
But they did mention the lack of a pool scene, right? It sounded like the main social areas were the bars.
Yeah, that's right. And, it seems like they prefer to be more active during the day, like at the beach.
Yeah, yeah.
So it really shows how this cruise is for a specific type of person. Someone who wants peace and quiet, fancy food, and exploring interesting places more than, a big party on the ship.
Yeah, it's all about knowing what you're getting into.
Exactly.
But all this luxury and exclusivity, it can't be cheap, right?
Yeah, definitely not. The reviewer said a base room starts at like $4,200 per person.
Whoa, okay. That's a serious investment.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Compared to like chartering your own yacht.
That's a good point. Chartering a yacht is definitely more exclusive. You can do whatever you want, but it costs a lot more usually.
Yeah.
Way more than this cruise.
Right.
And you have to plan everything yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
So the Ritz-Carlton Yachts are kind of like a middle ground.
I see what you mean.
It's still super luxurious, but easier to book and less stressful.
Okay.
Get the curated itinerary, the fancy service, all the amenities, but you don't have to own a yacht or deal with all that stuff.
So you're giving up a little control.
Mm-hmm.
But you get convenience and maybe save some money.
Exactly.
It depends on what's important to you, I guess. Plus, you're with other people.
Yeah.
Who appreciate that kind of luxury.
That's true.
It's a social thing too, right?
Absolutely. And we actually have some insight on that from Tanja Haas. She's the founder of the Lux Code Travels.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of her.
She talks about how these exclusive group trips, like this yacht experience,
Yeah.
can really help people connect,
Yeah.
create lasting memories. It's about building a sense of community
I like that.
among people who appreciate the finer things.
Yeah, that adds a whole other level of value.
It does. And speaking of value, we should mention their enrichment programs. It's not your typical cruise ship stuff,
Yeah. Yeah, I was reading about that. No bingo or karaoke.
Exactly.
They have lectures, workshops, even classes, all led by experts.
Yeah, like real experts.
I thought the wine program sounded cool. Learning about wines while you're sailing through the region.
Oh, yeah, that would be amazing.
Sign me up.
Me too.
And they have programs about history, art, culture.
All sorts of things.
So it's not just like, here's a port, go have fun.
No, not at all.
They give you context, information,
It's deeper experience.
Yeah, I like that.
And that really speaks to their whole philosophy. It's not just about being fancy. It's about creating meaningful travel experiences.
Okay, so we've talked about the idea, the destinations, the onboard experience, the value. We even got a glimpse of it from that YouTube review. But from your perspective as an expert, what are the key takeaways? What makes this Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection stand out?
I think they've really, they've carved out a special place in the world of luxury travel.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. But the big question, is this the future of cruising?
Good question. This whole thing with smaller ships, more intimate, more luxurious, is it just a trend or is it here to stay? I don't know. Who can say for sure?
Yeah, that's true. But I'm curious, for you personally, would you pay that much for this kind of trip? Would you trade a big, lively ship for something like this? What should our listeners think about when they're making that decision?
Well, I think it all comes down to what you want out of a vacation. Do you want a big party with lots of activities? Or do you want something more relaxed and focused?
Yeah, makes sense.
If you want personalized service, unique destinations, and a chance to really get away from it all, then this might be perfect. But if you like the energy of a big ship with lots of entertainment and crowds, this might not be your thing.
So there's no right answer.
Exactly.
It's about finding the experience that fits you.
And that's what's so great about travel these days.